Hello, hello, welcome back. It's Alicia. Today is the winter solstice, and I'm feeling so grateful that I'm finally feeling better and have the time to record this final day of this masterclass. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding, and I hope that you really enjoy this last day because it's some exciting stuff. So far in this masterclass, if you haven't seen the other two videos, we talked about our vibration and our energy and how our trauma is stored in our body and how that's expressed it's manifested into our physical life through stress and anxiety and sickness, and how we can literally change all of that if we are intentional, mindful, and have the tools to rewire. So let's jump right in. I'm going to talk about today the heart chakra and your upper three chakras, which is your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and your crown chakra. But before we get started, let's do a little salutations to the sun or the moon or the clouds, whatever's outside your window. I just want you to take a moment to connect with Mother Earth, and as you take a deep breath, just become mindful of how your body's feeling in this moment. Notice if you're hot or cold, any pains that you might be having, and just breathe into your body and be present with me as we express gratitude for another day on this earth. Okay, let's jump right in. We are going to get started with the heart chakra. So as we move into the feminine energy of your heart chakra, we learn how to love and how to be loved. This is the human right of the heart chakra. And it's located right here in the middle of your chest space, your heart space. And it embodies the gentle wisdom that teaches us the ways of love and compassion and forgiveness. And it is within your fourth chakra that we begin to recognize that the most powerful energy on earth is love. And to unlock its power will allow you to not only allow love to move freely and abundantly through your body, but it will allow you to love yourself. So the element of the heart chakra is air, because like the flow of our breath, your heart is willing to give and take automatically and without restriction. And the heart chakra is also aligned with my favorite color, the beautiful emerald green. And it governs not only your heart, but your thymus gland, which is responsible for creating all the immunity cells that fight infection and keep you healthy. And this is one of the reasons why the heart chakra is so important and related to our stress, because stress weakens our immune system in every way. So our ability to activate our heart chakra could be the difference, not only to love others, love ourselves, forgiveness, but to be healthy. So your heart chakra, it's not a lower chakra or an upper chakra. It's literally the middle chakra, the bridge that connects the lower and upper chakras together. It creates a unity of seemingly opposite powers, right? Connecting your physical realm and your lower chakras to your more spiritual realm in the upper chakras. And this makes your heart chakra the core of your energetic frequency and the center of your healing and manifestation. I love the heart chakra. Your heart chakra is the mecca of unconditional love and emotional power, because unlike your lower three chakras that stored emotion, your heart chakra has the power to actually express your emotions into reality. So your heart chakra takes its greatest shape and maybe gets its greatest wounds around the age 21 and 28, when most of us are exploring our romantic relationships. So it's a time in our life, once again, that we're seeking validation from others. But this time it's not just with our peer group, right? It's in a more intimate form, in intimate relationships. We're vulnerable with these relationships. And when our hearts get broken and we're rejected or we're cheated on or we're left with grief from losing a loved one, the energy of our heart chakra becomes wounded. And as a result, we will live our life through the shadow of these wounds, which for the heart chakra is the negative archetype of the performer. So the performer allows everything in their life to pass first through the wounds of the heart. They tend to mask their own true feelings, and they tend to sabotage a lot of their relationships because they can't get past these wounds that they're holding inside of them. This most often will result in codependent relationships. You know, you'll rely on people to make you feel good or pretty. And then there's this sense of resentfulness that will come because if you don't get what you're looking for back, you feel resentment towards that person. And this cycle really limits any real chance of developing true friendships and true love in your life. So the positive archetype of the heart chakra is the lover. And the lover, it's easy and natural for the lover to express love and gratitude in their life in so many different forms. They unconditionally love and appreciate themselves just as much as they appreciate and love others, and they radiate love wherever they go. The lover finds it easy to create positive relationships with people, animals, nature, and the divine. And your heart chakra is very powerful when it comes to raising your vibration and manifesting, because your heart chakra is capable of transmutation, to transform one form of energy into another. Because as we know, energy is never created or destroyed. Rather, it just shifts from one form to another. And this is the power of your heart chakra. But to open it has to do with forgiveness, compassion, and self-love. So your fifth chakra, let's move up to the throat. This masculine energy is known to be your center of communication, expression, and inner truth. Your throat chakra bridges your heart and the mind together, right? Allowing us to speak into existence that which you think and feel. The element of the throat chakra is ether, which we use to speak words into existence. And it's the energy of the throat that when it's activated, that matches the frequency of light blue. And then physically, your throat chakra actually governs your thyroid glands. Excuse me, still getting healthy here, which helps to regulate all of the metabolism in your body. And man, when stress messes with our metabolism, we get inactive, we gain weight, we have so many mental health and physical health issues, and could even lead to depression. So the wounds of this chakra, we tend to start revealing our wounds of the throat at around the age of 5 when we're being yelled at or criticized. This will all create blocks in this chakra. As a child, if you became afraid to speak up for yourself, which most of us did because these are generational wounds that were passed down, you're going to have blocks here. So many of our parents back generations before us, it was the my way or highway paradigm. You know, the don't speak unless you're spoken to, or children must be seen and not heard. So many of us grew up in this space where we weren't encouraged to speak our mind and express our emotions. And so the negative archetype of the throat chakra develops into the silent child. The silent child was yelled at, criticized to, lied to, or they witnessed excessive arguing and verbal abuse in the home. And as a result, they learn to keep their thoughts and opinions to themselves. They don't ever feel like it's safe to express themselves authentically. And this messes with our inner truth and our ability to express ourselves. So the positive archetype for the throat chakra is the communicator. It's the complete opposite of the silent child archetype. The communicator is someone who communicates directly and assertively. They're not worried about hurting people's feelings because they know what they're saying is going through their heart. It's always through kindness, but they're honest. They're good listeners. They think deeply about their communication and they're mindful with their responses. They don't believe in gossiping and lying. And they are very trustworthy friends and reliable friends. So stepping into the power of our throat chakra also gives us the ability to use the power of our words to reprogram the subconscious mind. It's powerful stuff because our words, every single one, spoken or thought, is always creating an effect. It's called the law of cause and effect. And so the throat chakra, stepping into these gifts, makes us feel comfortable and confident to use words, not only to enhance our environment, but to enhance our lives and our subconscious mind. Your sixth chakra is your third eye chakra. So the third eye chakra is associated with insight, intelligence, and inner wisdom. It's located in the center of the head, behind the middle of your eyebrows, and it's responsible for how we see life, our memories, our intuition, our daydreams, allowing us to see sometimes what's also beyond our physical eyes so we can seek wisdom and manifest our true reality. When balanced, our third eye chakra is aligned with the frequency of purple, which is a very mystical, magical color that represents wisdom. And the third eye chakra is connected to the element of light, of course, which gives us the ability to see, right? To see shapes and forms, even from a really far distance. But this chakra goes far beyond what our physical eyes can see. When our chakra is balanced, it can show us something that exists that only our inner sight can see, our inner eye. This is our intuition. And it's governed by our pineal gland, which is known as the organ of supreme universal connection. And its significance appears in every ancient culture throughout the world. It's really, really fun to research the third eye and all of the cultures that inside that is represented. So it's also like a superconductor. So our pineal gland is like a superconductor that turns the information of our energetic frequencies into meaningful imagery in your head, right? This is the source of your visualizations, your dreams, your daydreams. And the pictures from these memories that we create are stored through what your third eye is giving us the images to see, how we see the world. And it's formed throughout your whole childhood and throughout your whole life. So all of your traumas and your emotions and your judgments all create this lens that we see life through. And that is why the development of the sixth chakra can be overwhelming for those who haven't built a healthy foundation in the lower five chakras. Because if we have the inability to express our emotions, or we're having all these limiting beliefs and unhealed trauma, well, this is going to self-sabotage us. It's going to block us from seeing the world that's true to our heart. Instead, we'll see life through these layers and layers of hurt. And this creates the negative archetype of the third eye, which is the intellectual. So the intellectual archetype only knows to view the world through what they know. People, experiences, they know what they know, and that's the truth. So everything comes from this sense of logic. There's no compassion. There's no ability to see other people's opinions because they'll reject it, because all they really know is this lens that they're viewing the world from. Excuse me. And this mindset can be very destructive for stress and anxiety and relationships, because when we become unable to disconnect from the stories we create in our head, think of those nights that you're laying in bed, swimming in those loops, right? Worrying about the past or worrying about the future. It's the ability to change and master those images that we see inside of our mind. And that is the key to creating new positive thought loops. We have to learn that we are in control, and we can replace the old images and thought loops with new ones that serve us. So the positive archetype for the third eye is the intuitive. Now, the intuitive has the ability to see the big picture. They're extremely patient. They trust their gut. They trust themselves. Excuse me. And the intuitives, like they normally remember their dreams, and they love to daydream in the most beautiful way. And that helps them to naturally manifest things into their life. Becoming the intuitive is very important on our journey, especially when it comes to stress and anxiety, because it allows us, again, to shift our perspective, to become more mindful and view our experiences as gifts, no matter what they are. And finally, your seventh chakra, the final chakra. Now, this is the crown, and it actually is located at the top of the head and extends outside of our body. And this is the chakra that represents universal consciousness. And it is your connection to the source energy that's flowing in everything and is everywhere we go, making your crown chakra very powerful when it comes to manifestation. The element of the crown chakra is space or nothingness, which represents our self-transcendence, our oneness, our ability to be silent and merge with the infinite source of creation. The color that matches this frequency is violet, which is the color of spirituality. Violet is also a unifying color that contains all the qualities of all the chakras when all of them are activated. The crown chakra is primarily associated with the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, which actually work together to regulate your entire endocrine system. So it's really a master of hormones and flow of the body. So the crown has no developmental stage. Instead, it develops throughout your entire life, beginning at the moment you're born and continuing till the day we die. It's a culmination of all chakras that came before it, and it cannot truly become at its strongest until all of your other chakras are open. For instance, your early childhood experiences settled in your root and your sacral chakras, right? Where we form our sense of stability and emotional safety. And it's only after we bring balance to this part of us that we can move into the balance of our solar plexus chakra, which gives us confidence and the ability to live life authentically. When these lower chakras are balanced, then we have access to the powers of the heart chakra, which allows us to accept love in our life for ourselves and others. And it's only when we create this unconditional love in our life that we can use that energy to then empower our throat chakra to speak our highest truth with love and compassion and without fear of judgment. And when we can align ourselves with our inner truth, we can begin to see the truth in all things. We change our perception of life and the energy of our third eye chakra. And it's then when we begin to have full access to our crown. The crown's negative archetype is the egotist. So the egotist thinks very highly of themselves. They are the person in your inner circle who's obsessed about sharing prices and personal details about their car and their designer outfits and their house, and all of this makes them feel good. This is how they feel. Status is their thing. And an egotist is usually very intelligent and caring, but they can come across as smug and kind of, stuck up. So these people, without even realizing it, they're trying to find this source of connection to guide them through their life, but they really end up driving people away. They end up being alone and denying themselves real joy. The positive archetype of the crown chakra is the guru. So the guru archetype identifies themselves with one that is connected to divine energy. They're empowered by their experiences, and they prove to be a shining example to everybody around them. It's this level of higher consciousness that they've reached. The guru is aware of the wholeness of life, and they help teach others about this truth and finding meaning of spirit, and they model compassion and forgiveness no matter what the circumstances. They are peaceful people. They've mastered their senses, their emotions, their bodies, their mind, and they connect with everyone through love. They don't carry with them a sense of negativity. When the crown chakra is open and balanced, we have the ultimate ability to live a soul-aligned life because our entire chakra system is active and balanced. And this leaves us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually stronger than ever. And so that we can experience life with serenity and wholeness, and to feel connected to the deeper purpose and meaning of life. So now that you're familiar with all 7 of your main chakras, and before we move into today's activity, I want to just do a quick overview of all 7. Okay, so we're going to do this real fast. So number 1, your root chakra. It's your seat of survival and safety. Doing the inner work in this chakra takes you from living in a wound, from a victim mindset, to one of an empowered soul. The root helps you heal the wounds of the inner child and creates a stability that can shift you out of survival mode so that you can begin to thrive. Your second chakra, the sacral chakra, this is the seat of your emotions. Doing the inner work in this chakra helps you to learn how to process your emotions and your trauma so that you can shift into a bountiful existence who experiences abundance and enjoys all of life's pleasures. Your third chakra is the solar plexus, and this is the seat of your confidence and personal power. Doing the inner work in this chakra will allow you to stop living with insecurity and guilt and shame so that you can shift into the power of confidence and self-worth. Because before you can receive abundance in every area of your life, you have to feel worthy of it. Your fourth chakra, your heart, where we started today, is the seat of your unconditional love and forgiveness. Doing the inner work in your heart helps you break down the walls that are holding you back from loving yourself and loving others, so that you can step into the power of the heart, which is transmuting energy and attracting unconditional love in all things. Your fifth chakra, the throat chakra, is the seat of your communication and inner truth. And doing the work in your fifth chakra allows you to heal that silent child that's holding you back so that you can express yourself authentically and use the power of words to improve every aspect of your life. The sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, doing the inner work with the third eye gives you the ability of perspective, to see the world through a different lens. That's to change your entire perspective on stress and worry and life experiences. And the seventh and final chakra, your crown chakra. Doing the inner work within the crown chakra will help you become connected with source energy, ultimately helping you become a master manifester, which is exciting stuff. We did it. Okay, so these are all of the 7 main chakras, and in their unique way, how they can help guide you through the 3 levels of transformation, which is 1, to heal and release stuck energy in your body. Two, to identify old belief systems and rewrite them with new ones. And three, to finally raise your vibration and become a co-creator of your universe. Now, this is an ongoing process. There is no one and done technique for each chakra, but by doing the inner work and learning how to activate each of your energy centers, you will change everything. You'll change your energy. You'll change everything that you emit, thus changing what you're manifesting. So before we go any farther, I want to do an activity with you that's going to help you address your triggers and begin to rewrite your subconscious mind, right? Get through those traumas. So do you remember those meridian lines I talked about in the last video? They show us where the energy is flowing through our body, kind of like veins do for blood. Well, in this practice, I'm going to ask you to use your fingers to tap on certain acupuncture points while holding a memory of your trauma, but also reframing that memory into something positive. So this practice is actually called Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT for short. And let me tell you, there is so much amazing research when it comes to EFT with reducing stress, anxiety, PTSD, reducing the impacts of trauma. And so I highly suggest that you get on the Google machine and check out some of this amazing research, because it will blow your mind. It's beautiful. But for the sake of time, I want to jump right into the activity today. And let me tell you just really quick first why I use EFT. I actually use it every week inside of my Rewire and Manifest program because it achieves three things really well. First is when you're stressed or anxious or in a state of fear, you're triggered, your brain, the amygdala specifically, sends out a distress signal to the hypothalamus that you aren't safe. Then the stress hormones begin flooding. The hormones begin flooding and you go into fight or flight mode. So physically tapping on specific pressure points sends a signal to the amygdala to relax. And this will literally shut off your fight or flight response in the brain, instantly putting your body and mind into a state of stasis. So this can help you if you're having that meltdown or you're just trying to kick out of it. Second, as we tap, we expose ourselves to the stressor or the traumatic memory so that we can create a link between the trauma and a new cognitive input that we're choosing. So working with triggers and memories in this way physically soothes the body and interrupts the emotional triggering and lessens its intensity. And three, it rewires the subconscious mind. Each and every time you interrupt these programs and you reframe your trauma, this is going to help you little by little release that stagnant energy that's stuck in the body and rewire your subconscious mind, those memories. So today I'm going to guide you through a quick tap with me session, but just to save some time, in order to teach you the tapping points, I'm going to go ahead and cut in a video that I did last year to help you, because the tapping points, there's 9 of them, and I want you to get familiar with them before we jump in. So watch this part of the video and I'll be right back. So there are 9 tapping spots that you're going to learn today. The first tapping point is what we call the karate chop. It's this area of our hand that we would karate chop something. I like to use the side of my hand for this, but you can use, like I said, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 1 finger, whatever is most comfortable to you. So I'm going to start with the karate chop. The second spot is the inner eyebrow. It's almost at the top, the base of the nose. I'm going to use 1 finger for that. Notice I'm tapping for several seconds before moving on. The third spot is the side of the eye, right on the edge of your eye cavity. So you can kind of feel where your eye cavity is, and you're going to go right on the edge of that bone. The fourth spot is under the eye. So following that eye cavity down, you'll be right on the edge of that bone as well. Number 5 is right under the nose, right in the center. I'll actually kind of use 3 fingers for this one. Right above your lip. Number 6 is the chin, right in the center. Remember to put enough pressure to release tension, but not so much that it hurts or becomes tender. You might show a little redness, but that's normal. Spot number 7 is the beginning of the collarbone. So I'm actually gonna feel, you can feel right where your collarbone starts, and I'm gonna go right on that ball. It doesn't matter on what side. It can actually be each side. I like to go back and forth when I'm moving through this. The 8th spot is about 4 inches under your armpit, and it's going about aligned where your nipple is gonna be or your bra strap, and you should feel some ribs in there. I like to use 4 fingers in here to really get it in there. And again, it doesn't matter what side. And then the 9th and final spot is the very top of the head, and I like to use 4 fingers there. So those are your 9 spots. Okay, the karate chop, the inner eye, the outer eye, the lower eye, under the nose, your chin, the most innermost part of your collarbone, below the armpit, and the top of your head. So I'm going to do it again, and this time I'm going to show you how I would incorporate my statement into the practice, okay? Which is going to be, even though I feel anger easily, I deeply and profoundly love myself, okay? And the statement is important, but if you don't get it perfect each time, don't worry. It's not going to change completely your results, and you will get better with practice. Okay, so feel free to practice with me this time, okay? So we're going to start with the karate chop. Even though I feel anger easily, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Even though I feel anger easily, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Even though I feel anger easily, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Try to really feel the emotions when you're moving through. Even though I feel anger easily, I truly and profoundly love and accept myself. Wow, do you feel that? Even after one round of that, I feel so different. I feel so energized. So when you're done, you're gonna rate your emotional pain and your feeling, the way that you're feeling on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most painful, and you're gonna see if there's a difference from your initial score. And that's EFT. Okay, so now that you had some practice, I want you to think of a memory that causes you stress or anxiousness, or you feel is traumatic. I want you to hold this memory in your mind for a moment and create awareness, of how this memory makes you feel. I want you to actually assign an emotion word, like anger or guilt or sadness, to this memory. Now, you are going to transform this memory and emotion in your subconscious mind through a rewiring statement. And this is key to our practice, like you've learned, right? Even though I feel anger or am angry that I was abused, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. So with my pregnancies, losing them, I could say, even though I feel guilt from losing my pregnancies, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. So if you need to pause the video, go ahead, but I want you to think of a statement, a simple statement that embodies not only your trauma, but an emotion word that we're going to use through this tapping exercise. Okay, you got it? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the words up on the board. I'm not going to say them, but I'm going to do the tapping with you. So go ahead and watch me for the tapping, and let's do this. Oh, before we start, I want you to think about this traumatic memory and how it makes you feel on a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being, barely, doesn't really, I feel great. Or 10 being like, I am so freaking depressed, like it's plaguing me. So from 1 to 10, I want you to go ahead and just write down somewhere or take note just of where you are on that scale. And then we will get started. Okay. Okay, so how do you feel? I want you to take a breath and just notice how your body's feeling. The first time that I did a full tapping session, we only did 2 rounds right now, but I could not believe how differently I felt. It was incredible. So now that you're done, I want you to go ahead and assign, once again, from a scale from 1 to 10, how you think about this trauma, how it feels in your body. 1 being, fine, to 10 being like, depressed, worst ever. Did your number change? I hope it did. And if so, this is the power of tapping. When I take you through my Rewire and Manifest program, tapping is one of the weekly, daily things that we do to rewire our subconscious mind. And it's special to each chakra. I also infuse the elements into mine because I love it. It's exciting stuff. I hope this empowers you to know that you have the power to release painful memories that keep you stuck and rewire your mind away from stress and anxiety and trauma and towards something that you intentionally want to live. How do you want to live your life? I want you to think right now of how stress and anxiety affects you, how it affects your health, your family, your job, your relationships, your kids. If you have kids, you may be teaching them right now how to live in survival mode without even realizing it. You are literally helping them create the subconscious programs within them that will hold them back and even possibly create mental illness. Because how we struggle with stress and anxiety is how they're learning how to struggle with stress and anxiety. So if this energy is keeping you up at night, I feel you, I was you, and that is why I created my Rewire and Manifest program, because I am so tired of seeing people suffer. I have met so many people on my travels. For some reason, well, I'm empathic, I've stepped into that gift now, but people always come up to me and want to tell me their whole life story. And what I'm seeing are all these traumas and generational patterns that are being passed down from ancestors to ancestors, from our ancestors. And people are suffering. They're living in this state of fear, of unworthiness, of everything you can think of. And it's creating a life that they don't love. So I'm going to do one more video for you. It's a little special video. Oh my gosh, I'm hoping to have it posted before Christmas. I know that times are crazy right now, so if you don't see it till after the new year, it's fine, but make sure you jump on because I have a really, really amazing offer for you that I want to share with you. And it's all about my heart healing method and my Rewire and Manifest program. And so I am so grateful to share this time and space with you once again. And I hope you have a warm, happy holiday. And thank you so much for your patience and understanding. And I hope you all the best. And I hope to see you really soon. All right. Bye-bye.